We have arrived at the Temple of Isis on the outskirts of Luxor, but there's no one here to let us in and the gate's locked. So we're kind of scrambling to see whether we can find someone to let us in because it's supposed to be quite beautiful inside.
Allow us to reintroduce ourselves.
Our name is GoingGoing.BackBack.
In 2019, we had 3 kids under 5, a new minivan, and a house full of things.
With our eldest due to start school in a few months, we decided it was now or never to take an extended vacation. And so we set off to explore the world and be back in time for his first day.
We were several months into our trip when the pandemic hit and schools around the globe shut down.
It confirmed the idea that was already brewing in our minds, that there was no better classroom than the one our kids were already in, the world.
We sold our minivan, gave away everything that couldn't fit into a suitcase, and became full-time travelers.
Join us as we very slowly travel the world, going, back.
This temple, his name Deir, el-Shelwit. And this is temple, built sometime Roman, built between Roman and hieroglyphic. Yes. And Roman also believe the god of Pharaonic.
Right.
Yeah, welcome.
Fascinating. My daughter asked, why don't people go to this temple very much?
Not much people.
Because it's far out of the way?
A little bit far, and also many temples here. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And sometimes some temples she can't take much program, but show.
The drive from our home on the banks of the Nile to the Isis temple took about 20 minutes, including a very brief stop at the Antiquities ticket office to purchase our tickets. 40 Egyptian pounds for the adults, 20 for the kids over 6, and free for kids 5 and under. We made it to the temple but couldn't see the guardian, which isn't entirely surprising when you consider that most of these sites are open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, and for many of those 12-hour stretches, won't see a single visitor. So we're here at the Isis temple. It says, while Isis was traditionally an Egyptian goddess, her cult spread throughout the Roman Empire. She was the wife, sister of Osiris, and the mother of Horus. She was also known for her magical powers and was worshipped as a great healer. We have arrived at the Temple of Isis on the outskirts of Luxor, but there's no one here to let us in and the gate's locked. So we're kind of scrambling to see whether we can find someone to let us in because it's supposed to be quite beautiful inside.
There's nobody here, so we can't open the gate to get in.
What are we trying to say though?
I don't know.
This is a temple of Isis.
So we're going to see Isis.
Yeah. Yeah, what's this down here?
Maybe someone will come. I found a spider ant. Spider ant? A span.
A span. Is that your spant?
It's a span.
This gateway was the original entrance into the temple complex. It is elaborately decorated with scenes of the king making offerings to various gods. What is intriguing about this gateway is the collection of Roman emperors that are depicted, particularly Galba, Otho, and Vespasian. These men represent 3 of the 4 rulers who reigned in 69 CE during the year of the 4 emperors. While Vespasian was the last of these emperors and enjoyed a 10-year reign, Galba ruled for only 7 months, and Otho sat on the throne for a mere 3 months.
Yes.
Otho is represented in an interesting scene on the left interior wall of the propylon, where he is spearing a turtle. Here, the turtle represents the god Seth, who embodies evil and chaos.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's it, Mom, because he's holding something and he's spearing.
But his crown doesn't look the same. Can you show me what you found?
I think so. Because he's holding the spear.
Yeah, it looks a little different though.
She's holding this.
Well, his crown doesn't look the same.
What about that? Over there.
Oh, I found it, guys.
What?
It's right up the top there.
Where? I can't see. Oh, yes, right up there.
Here, baby, on this part. It's kind of hard to make out. صباح الخير.
خليك تفضل.
شكرا.
الحمد لله شكرا.
I love this place already.
تعمل انك انت يعني
I'm already in the super dark room.
قلت لي كانت انت اللي سايب مكانك تمشي.
Mommy, can you use your flashlight? Ah! It's dark. There's probably nothing there.
But this is what it really would have been like, guys, with the intact ceiling and dark like this.
There's a wall right here.
Yes, there is. It's a very small room.
My eyes are adjusting to the dark light. I can't see in the dark.
No?
Guys, come on. There's 3 rooms. Mommy, there's a tunnel.
All right, let's go see.
Dark. Girls. It leads right to the start. Mommy, it leads to the start. Keep your flashlight on.
Whoa!
Wow, I tripped.
Me too.
In here. Come on, Mommy. Turn on the flashlight.
Well, let's see what it is. Let's see if we can get our eyes to adjust a little bit. Oh, there's not any shaft of light in there. Be very careful with this one.
I heard bats.
Oh, I can smell bats.
But I can't see bats. Wait,
Oh, I heard one.
I saw one.
Where?
It was just flew across there.
There's nothing on the walls in here, right? These walls are.
Nothing there. Here's the mistake. I think they make it the room, make it cool from here, from here, no sun comes. That's it. And this is sometimes keep something is here.
Like a storage room.
But I think this is another where maybe bedroom or like this.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, Mommy?
Yes.
Can you come upstairs with me?
There's an upstairs?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Let's see. Thank you for showing me. شكرا.
هروح اجيب لنا مفتاح.
أيوة.
ها؟
أيوة شكرا.
Get the key.
Thank you. We are at the Temple of Isis outside of Luxor. We're actually on the roof of the temple right now. So it's got a pretty fantastic view of the deserts and hills in the distance, and then people's homes and farms to the other direction. This temple is interesting because it's actually one of the most modern in Luxor, being only 2,000 years old. It was actually built during Roman times. The Greco-Romans became worshippers of the goddess Isis, who was one of the most ancient of Egyptian gods. And this temple was erected by them, by the Romans, to worship Isis. And it's interesting because you can see there's actually some crosses that someone's carved into the stones here. So obviously the Christians were here after the Romans. It's quite a beautiful temple inside. It's small, and they say it's somewhat unfinished, but the raised reliefs in the main temple room are really exquisite. And it's really interesting to see, and it's so seldom visited that the guardian of the place wasn't even here when we arrived and had to be called to come in. But we're really glad we made it out here, even if we're sweating a bit.
Isis Temple. It's pretty, very beautiful inside, and there's absolutely nobody here. Kind of like a VIP treatment. All right.
All I know about this temple is that it's haunted by a mommy and bats. And it's a great place to meet us, but also it's haunted. almost got attacked by one. I almost got attacked by Mommy. Mommy.
What do you think, Chi-Chi?
First here.
What do you think of the Temple of Isis, Chi-Chi?
Listen to the good views.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Shukran.
Follow me, Mommy. What about here, Mommy? We never checked out here.
Let's have a look.
Here. It's a bit darker in here. But there's a little light. Can you turn it this way in case I trip like it? This one will kind of okay. Mommy.
Yes. So you smell this? Breathe in right now. That's the smell of bats.
Bats. Where bats? Can you shine it up so we can see the bats?
We don't really want to disturb them.
Wait, there's bats in there?
You can smell bats.
What's that sound? What's that sound? Somebody's coming. Daddy, you scared us. There's a bat! Yes, I saw it with my own 2 eyes!
Ali Balak.
Whoosh! Whoosh!
This is the door, you know?
Yeah.
Look at the door here.
Oh, sure, you can still see where it was.
Here. You can lift the door out there, and here the door, make it move like that and close it.
Wow.
And when they close it, you can make it wood. Here, from here.
Yes.
It's safe. Just
Is that Horus?
Yeah, this. Queen is this.
Uh-huh.
And give the power to the king.
Sure. Yeah.
Or the king, he will give me the power to be control the council.
Beautiful. So you see here, these ones are all raised reliefs. So rather than being carved into the stone's like carved out around it. You can see here that this temple has absolutely gorgeous examples of raised reliefs. And they still even have some color on them. This temple actually was just relatively recently cared for, and centuries of soot were removed. Like most buildings around Luxor, it was used for some time by multiple generations over thousands of years. And so they would have cook fires in here, which would leave black soot, which would discolor the temples. But when they were cleaned about a decade ago, all of this gorgeous color remained. I think my preference really is for these raised reliefs. There's something particularly special about them, like they're about to pop up out of the walls and carry on with their offerings and their festivals. You can see here the pharaoh making an offering to Horus,
Yes.
the son of Isis.
Son of Isis?
Yeah, Horus is the son of Isis. Osiris was their husband, and Horus was her son. There is so much to see when you come and visit one of these Egyptian temples. Like if you look here, you can spend time just looking at the arches of their feet, at the intricate designs on their clothing. On their jewelry, the muscular arms, the details of their headdresses or crowns. And then it's always fun to kind of look at these offering plates and try and figure out exactly what it was that they were offering. And here you've got examples of the cartouches. These oval shapes are where the names of the pharaohs, and only the names of the pharaohs, were chiseled onto the buildings or painted, or however they were displayed. They were always in these ovals called cartouches. Look at the incredible detail on the hair here. I mean, it's just marvelous. Look at their gorgeous hands. I'm a bit fascinated with the feet and hands carved into these buildings in ancient Egypt. The details on their fingers and nails. So we're in the inner sanctuary of the temple. It's actually the main part of the temple, the largest room, the one with by far the greatest amount of carvings. It's where you'll still see all these beautiful traces of color and these amazingly intact carvings. The only natural light in the room is through the doorway, and there used to actually be a great big door there to close off this inner sanctuary. But you can see the details on the wall. They're just absolutely beautiful. It's so beautiful. I feel like I could spend hours or days just staring at it all, taking in absolutely every element of it. I could see someone else coming here and only spending a few minutes, but they'd be missing out on so much of the thrill of it. And all these different scenes of the gods and the kings. Isis is the mother of Horus, who you see here. And Horus and the pharaohs of Egypt were considered to be the incarnations of Horus in the world, in the physical world. So in the same way that Isis was considered the mother of Horus, Isis was considered the mother of all the pharaohs.
Wow. All of them?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
How many are there? 219?
I don't know. They were pharaohs for thousands of years, so
159.
we should definitely look that up. Shukran. Tell me your impressions of the Isis temple.
Very nice. That was cool. It's far out. It's like in the desert.
Alright guys, we have a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest score and 10 being the highest score. What are we giving the Isis temple?
100 stars.
100 stars from Cricket. Raja, how many are you giving it?
A lot.
A lot from Chi-Chi. Raja, what are you giving the Isis temple?
I chose 1 because it's cursed.
If it hadn't been cursed?
It would be 200.
Alright, 10 out of 10 for me. But it was really beautiful, small, but really lovely. Well worth the trip. Thanks for joining us on our trip to the Isis temple. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Going, back, back.